Welcome in, everybody. We are flying from Salzburg Airport, Austria today. Short flight to Hahn in Germany. And I appreciate anybody who watched that review yesterday of the Citation X full X checklist from preliminary checks to shutdown. I appreciate afterwards. I realised the sound was not there, but that's absolutely fine. The video still demonstrates the checklist very, very well, and you can still watch that flight too. Well, today hopefully the sound is resolved on the software. It seemed to be lacking picking it up, but yeah, we're back in it. I've also got a super surprise actually planned, and I'm just loving this game at the moment. Just got it planned for either Wednesday or Friday, it depends. So we've got a new thing to look forward to then. Same kind of style of stream, so we'll be doing a standard sector flight, whatever that might be, or it might not be standard, to be honest. It usually isn't like the Citation X streams in a way. So today we're going to Hahn in Germany, which is near Koblenz. We have that sim loaded up, we have flight plan loaded up. If anyone's familiar with X-Plane, you will know that you can get X downloads and plugins. So I got X checklist, so we're going to go through that again from preliminary. We've opened the door, so let's hop in the cockpit.
Parking brake.
Set.
Now,
hopefully you should hear this.
Handle. Down. Speed brake handle.
Neutral or off.
Check 0. Throttles.
Yeah, cut off.
Cut off.
Okay, so awesome.
Battery switches 1 and 2.
Her voice can be slow and there's no way to speed it up, but ultimately extremely useful. Makes it much more realistic, and the realisticness of the game is good. I'd say it's good. The rain effects there, and there's no add-ons for the visuals. I don't have plugins for visuals. I don't believe they should exist. You buy a game, it should be quality game. A quality game, you shouldn't have to buy or download anything extra for it. But we have got extras here just to make it a little bit more realistic, I suppose. I'll run through them again quickly. So new edition X checklist makes the process of flying like that of a real pilot, although the Cessna Citation X on X-Plane 12 is great for a default aircraft. It's not up to, it's not going to be super realistic like you would expect from perhaps a payware or study level aircraft. So anyway, X-Pilot is the next one for online ATC communications. That's really good. Aviation tablet. I've recently downloaded that. I don't use it much, but it's still handy to get the flight plan up on. Better pushback, of course, for those custom Zebo 737 plane, which doesn't work properly with the standard default pushback. Anyway, let's get back into it. So we need to do some checks. Let's get the batteries on for the preliminary.
On.
Okay, we can do this quicker than she's reading it, so let's just do it quick. So ICAS, battery switch.
Battery volts.
Check.
Leg page. Check 24.
Check 24.
Refuel.
Check. Now we need to refuel, so this is where the Avitab comes in handy. So you can just scroll up to the Avitab, put it over to the side, and then operate the iOS at the same time, simultaneously. So we have planned fuel 2,307. Sometimes it's a bit hit and miss. We've already got enough fuel on board. How many people on board? I think 4 people. I'll have to check on the weight. Just double check the route. I think the route might be out of date, and I think I've put the wrong airport. That's the wrong. Sorry, everybody. Sorry. Big, huge balls up, but not the worst. That's got to be the most embarrassing mistake I've ever made. So not the right flight plan, but nonetheless, it's still important. But should I want to do that other flight in the future? Anyway, we're actually going from Salzburg, which is Lowe's, all the way up to Hans. Yeah, so just give me a sec to redo the flight plan. Only take a second. That means I'm going to have to refile the bloody thing on that sim. That can also make that sim a little bit of a pain. Is having to just constantly file flight plans in order to log in and have a flight. Yeah, it can make it really tedious and unenjoyable sometimes. Rather than just getting into it, it's something that potentially could be changed. Let me know what your favourite aircraft is. User streams Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Did want to wait till 1:30 because it's a few hours to go yet. So EDFH is Hahn Airport. Could do this just in the FMC, but we need the flight plan from SimBrief in order to file it on VATSIM. So when you generate flights, probably going to just put the default 10 passengers, which I always find to be too much. And then from there you can just download the PDF. Thank goodness I realised that mistake. I also spawned in the wrong airport, so my flight plan and things are being messed up from the previous stream. Once you've done that, you can pre-file that on the VATSIM network. Be sure to do a flight plan download as well. You can do the PDF and then you'll have to enter it manually, or you can do a flight plan download for the actual game, and that will save you some time. FMS plans, make sure you delete any identical plans or replace them should you want to. You don't have to delete them, do a later flight. Call sign. We are Charlie 4 Foxtrot Lima again. Kind of standard at the moment. Pre-file on network. Okay, having some issues on the pre-file. As soon as that's done, we'll get back into the chat list. Okay, flight plan filed. Let's get going, let's get back in. So it's as quick as that. It was a little bit of a delay, but we had a couple of more minutes to spare. So now we go on to plugins. And it should pop up on FMS plans. There it is. So, excellent. And we only need 1800, so we got we got enough fuel on base. There's no need to remove fuel. It's not realistic to remove it really, but you would burn it off in flight. So now we're more concerned about the passengers on board. So there's the departure, Titig 3 Bravo departure. I'll write that down. If you have a notebook, suggest writing it down. So Titig 3 Bravo, and you don't need to concern yourself with the rest of it as long as it matches up with your flight plan. The FMC is good. You only usually have to be too concerned about the SID, which is the Titig, standard instrument departure, and the star. Oh, Olgil 3 Bravo as well. So we've got a lot of 3 Bravos today. As you can see on the left hand side, the map is showing other aircraft in the vicinity. Most likely down here at Innsbruck. That's not Innsbruck. Down there somewhere is in Innsbruck. We want weight and balance. Okay. We can estimate packs. Oh, there's packs. 9 packs. That's an odd number. We don't know why it's given us 9. So crew, we always underestimate, so we need to estimate the weight correctly. So say about 160. As long as it's above 160, you should be alright. 9 passengers, so 4 in the front. Again, estimates weight, so that would be 2 in the front as the co-pilot and pilot, 4 in the rear, so that's 6, and then you need another 3 in the back. So it's a very peculiar layout today. We're assuming 77 kg for each person, which is a high weight, so it'd be about you just have to guess. And then baggage, payload, a cargo 200, that's excessive. A lot of baggage and crap on board. 0 fuel weight, we won't concern ourselves with that. I don't think you can change it in the Citation X. And we need some VATSIM frequencies, so hopefully somebody is going to come online and clear us out. Check the local QNH and departure page. Let's get on with a preliminary chat list anyway. So we've refueled as needed.
As needed. Fuel balance.
Less than 200.
Check imbalance.
In 0.
200 lbs.
Yes, I can.
Focus switch. Off.
Batteries 1 and 2
Battery
off.
switches 1 and 2.
Standby power test.
Standby power.
Passengers boarded.
Test. Passengers and cargo.
Okay, it doesn't seem there's a way to speed up her voice, so you either have the option to turn it off or to just have it at this slow pace, but I think I'll keep it on.
And check.
It's nice to have a co-pilot on
Battery
board.
switches 1 and 2. On. External power if available.
So this external power, there should be an external power option on X-Plane 12. There isn't. I have used the quick feature, so I'll show you on the menu. Keyboard and then GPU would be ground power. Toggle is equals for me. If I press it, no GPU will turn up, which is disappointing. I've never seen GPU come available on the Citation X, like ever, so you can turn it on, but it's not going to do anything.
Left and right generators.
Generators are coming on.
Up. ACUS switch. On. Avionics switch.
Avionics, fuel booster
On.
low.
Fuel boost. Both norm. Fader left switch.
So interesting, this Citation has a beautiful cockpit and its layout and its realism is very good. I like it. So at this point you could turn the master interior switch on as well. It's not on the checklist, but you should do it. Yes, it's a very good, it's a great default aircraft. They've done a fantastic job of it. It's nice and clean, nice and crisp. There's a few things I dislike about it, and it could be a bit more realistic in terms of its interactability. So you could interact with these, for example, and you could just do a few more things. There would be a seatbelt sign in there, but if you go into the cabin, there is no seatbelt sign at all when there should be. Usually it would be here somewhere. There's nothing there, there's no indication, there's just a beeping sound that comes on. You can't adjust the seats. So yeah, it's a very good start. I'd rate it about 8. 8 out of 10 I think. It's good, but it could use obviously improvement. But I think for a free, the included aircraft, it's fantastic. It's one of the best. So anyway, we're getting distracted again. Reset the fader.
Reset and normal. Fader right switch.
So the fader is engine controls.
Reset and normal. Ignition switches.
Maintain normal parameters,
Check
etc.
norm.
Normal ignition.
Standby power.
On.
Center wing transfer.
That's normal.
Both norm. Emergency exit lights.
Okay, we can test those.
On.
On.
Red light on.
And then arm them.
Emergency exit lights. Arm. Instrument lights. Flood LTS. L. LH. CTR.
That's just these lights down here.
Need.
You can take it or move the lights.
Oxygen.
Automatic.
Auto. Master warning. Reset.
We reset the caution as
Master
well.
caution.
Then we do the windshield heat.
Reset. Windshield
Another mention
heater
windshield
LH
there on the
and
checklist,
IH.
but feel free to put a windshield
On.
there on as well.
Auxiliary pumper.
Okay, so auxiliary pump,
On.
parking brake.
Parking brake. Off.
Notice the plane
Parking brake.
doesn't move.
On. Auxiliary pumper. Off. Seatbelt lights.
So seatbelt lights again, another one you would typically. I've never seen. I mean, this is why a checklist would be ideal in X-Plane 12, but you have a passenger safety option and a seatbelt light. Seatbelt lights merely illuminates them. Passenger safety is more like an alert for the daytime. You know, when you can't see the lights. It's basically to tell you to put your seatbelts on. So we're going to do passenger safety instead. Says up, but we're going to just take it off.
Up.
Recognition,
light.
nav, you don't need tail flood in the daytime. I never use them, the recognition
Navigation
lights,
light.
nobody can see them, they're not even
On.
visible.
Tail flood light. On.
So you can't, there's no visibility in the daytime, it's redundant having it on.
Engine bleeder.
Okay, let's get that on high power.
Both
Co-pilot
HP
side.
/LP. Right hand panel lights.
Sorted.
Set. APU master.
APU master switch, and we're
On.
going to test, and I'm going to start with the
Test
APU.
button.
I always do the same checklist. If you watch my previous flights without X checklist, you'll know I do these things. Some features I don't do, and I don't go through it as thorough depth. but the chat listing features are still there. Wait for flight to reach 100 RPM, let's just check the status of that, seeing there's nobody on mine, as expected. Solid 60, around 60 FPS in this plane usually. Depends on the airport, depends on the situation. Heavy rain of course and weather is going to affect it, so we put the generators on. Get rid of this generator test button,
check.
Start.
APU start. Hold
Yes.
till start. APU N1. 100 RPM. APU generator.
Okay, max call for the bleed dash, it's taking a while.
On.
Can't take it off unless you read it
APU
either, which
bleed
is
dash.
a pain, so
Max
it's good,
cool.
but it's now, it's like, you use it once
Cabin
and then you
and
notice
cockpit
there's issues
packs.
with it. Okay, packs on.
On.
Cool the cabin down,
Aircraft
it's
doors.
30 degrees out here, blimey. You wouldn't expect it looking outside, it looks like it's been raining. 30 degrees in Salzburg. It is raining in fact, what am I on about? It's drizzling and it's 30 degrees. Anyway, let's turn that down maximum. Let's get the ATIS information. We look at the Abbey tab of course for our... I'll leave the chat list up on the upper left for you. 1017 for the Q&H, you don't need it yet but it's important to know it. ATIS information and FMC, we do need FMC so let's initialise. In real life the actual IRS alignment we've down here on the central console in the middle central console. Flight plan. Double check the departure. Runway 15, I think that's on the Abbey tab. Yep, runway 15, let's select that, we want, I got it written down, the Citation pre-Bravo departure, hopefully it's no, it's not, pre-select it. Activate, now you need to do arrival, be sure to program it in before you fly, because then if you need to change it, it's easier to change it once you have something to base it on at least. Runway 21 for landing, yes, and it's so it does the arrivals usually pretty well, it just doesn't do the approach. That's our discretion, and ATC will give it us as well. Let's initialise the aircraft performance. In fact, let's check the restrictions. So I think we're cleared just straight up to today, it's 39,000 feet. It's not bad. I can't handle the 45,000 feet anymore. It's taking too long to get there, and the speed is too slow, unfortunately. Yeah, another mixture in there. 38,000. It's not in the air for that long. Short flight. Perform initialization. Yes, we're just going to go straight up quickly as possible. Transition altitude, so we don't have ATIS. We're going to leave it at 18 for now. 390. Okay. 15 degrees of flaps. So it did miss out the passengers then on that list. Sometimes it will show it, sometimes it won't. It can be a little bit of a confusing FMC list. So weight imbalance, it should show some kind of indication there in pounds, like maybe passengers, I can't remember the page. Performance, there it is, so it just depends. Sometimes you could get to this page and then it'll go here and it'll show you passengers, passenger weight, etc. We got 8 on board, we only need 6. 9, so we need 9, not 8. Let's stick another person in the back. There we go. And the speeds were changed. We're more concerned about the takeoff and departure route, so that's fired. Let's assume we got clearance. We give us our frequency to tune in, random squawk code. Okay.
Closed. External power.
Disconnected.
Disconnected. Rotary test.
Let's do the rotary test.
Rotate to all positions.
Pronunciation. We're going to go left to right.
Auxiliary pumper.
Hold on, she's should be right to left, but she's skipping it a bit.
Wind shear. Wind shear. Wind shear. Terrain. Terrain. Pull up.
Okay, that's simple. The angle of attack for store warning. You do have to wait for it to deploy the slats, and then you can just click off and click back on it. It should work. In principle. Of course, sometimes it doesn't. Could be a little bit worried.
On. Flaps and slats. Retract.
Yeah, store one is not
Auxiliary pumper.
not working again. So that's hit and miss. Something that explains you should consider fixing. The angle attack tester is a little bit bugged out. Either it does or it doesn't. Auxiliary pump's going back off. Don't need that anymore.
PFD source selection.
Yes, we select that FMS. Be sure to only click it once. FMS 1 is the one you need. Don't click twice, otherwise it's going to go to the wrong one.
Lateral navigation mode.
So again, lateral navigation is not working. This happened last night and I had some... So it could be just because there's a steep turn at the beginning, so it won't be able to lock onto a proper course. Which is, of course, concerning. You can double check your flight plan and check the status of the route, but in general, the checklist can't be completed because in fact, you can't even select that. Can you select VNAV? Can't select anything. And sometimes X-Plane will disconnect my keyboard, so you can't press anything on the keyboard. It's usually, I don't know, hit and miss. Absolutely nothing will even harm in this aircraft at the moment. Have we got everything performed properly? Flight plan, the arrival. Let's just select an ILS for runway that we're landing on. Arrival to runway 21. ILS. Make sure there's no brakes. Didn't want to do the ILS, I'm not going to lie. It's been too many ILSs. I'll try and activate it. It should at least arm, but there's absolutely nothing activated on it. Absolutely nothing. Pilot error, I think, so let's just skip these.
Vertical
They should change the vertical nav here to 180, that should be working. Even heading should be working. Oh, that works. There's no way to change the flight level without having the flight level change arms. We'll try it when we're on the runway, and we'll see if we can do it that way.
Flight level change vertical
So it needs to be about 180, we'll do it when we're lined up.
180 kias. Yaw damper.
Yaw damper.
On. Mac trim. On.
They work.
Transponder frequency.
Okay, set.
Set. Transponder mode.
Standby mode. I'm going to tune in to Unicom as well. Heading, we should set that to the runway 0. We'll do it when lined up.
Set
Too
to
lazy
runway.
to do it now.
Altitude select.
Yes, programmed it in. Avitab gave us 101.7. It'll recognise when it's local QNH, it'll say it's checked off. Sometimes it doesn't if you've not got the right QNH on the flight plan. If it doesn't match up with the game's at QNH. So if we click on the airport, 117's coming up, we just have to tick it off.
Set to cleared alt. Altimeter
My mistake,
barrel.
completely wrong one, it's too early in the morning.
Local QNH.
Didn't even do it properly, so
Minimum
39,000.
PFD.
Minimum barometric PFD. This is the point of when you turn the autopilot on. Should be when you turn it on. No, to be honest, I like flying the hand approaches more. So we want barometric. We want 1,000 feet. So 2,420. Uh, 2,420. We're at 1400 feet actually. That's quite surprising.
Set to 1000 foot AGL.
Yes.
GND rec forward /
Right.
anti-coal lights.
We're getting a bit more ready now. I really would like someone to come on to the ATC. There's just nobody ever anywhere on this VATSIM. No supervisors. We'll assume we've got clearance. We assume we're gonna just taxi. So let's get our beacons on.
Cabin and cockpit packs.
Okay, they come off for the start up.
Off. Engine start RH button.
And I monitor the system as well.
RHN 2%.
Yes.
Weight 10. Right power lever. Idle. RHN 2%.
Okay, there's the slats. The slats, we must have run out of hydraulic pressure doing that checklist because the slats are working now. Let's try the stall warning test again.
Weight 60. Engine start LH button.
I thought the controls were a bit sluggish. Usually when you pressurize the hydraulics, it will pressurize them, but it tends to lose pressure again. Right, left engine start, so number right is good.
LHN 2%. Weight
N2 10%, we're going to put that on idle.
Left power lever. Idle. ACUS fuel page.
Feel free to silence or get rid of these alert systems. ICAS fuel page, you should be able to check that and tick it off. Usually it's on this one. Doesn't really give you fuel flow on there. Fuel flow on this one instead.
Check flow.
Yes.
500 pph.
And of course hydraulics are the same
HYD
one
page.
as
Check
pressurized 3000.
3000.
If you pressurize it again, it doesn't do much. Okay, engine bleed air. So interesting that it selects low pressure.
Both
And
LP. Cabin and cockpit packs.
yes, because it's 33 degrees and boiling.
Pressurization
Cabin's 12
switches.
degrees though.
All 3 norm. Pressurization altitude.
Right, 39,000. Yeah, so packs bleed air's on low, but actually when you get up high, you should probably put the bleed air on high, especially when the APU comes off as well. And that's one item on the checklist that's not there. It's still a good checklist, but you know, essential things like that missing off just make it a little bit more realistic, wouldn't they?
Set. Petard static switches.
I don't know how we're going to need pitot heat in this weather. It's 30 degrees, so we're just going to follow the checklist and stake them on anyway.
Flaps 5 or 15.
Right, 15 degrees of flaps. Let's get rid of that ICAS system. We're going to go on to the timer. Flight time only starts when she's in the air, I believe. Let's see. Oh, nav will work. So there's something going on there with the engines.
Set.
Maybe you have to wait for the engines to start before you do that. But we're going to set it to 180 now.
Rudder and aileron trim.
And she would
Check
give it a
neutral.
rest, of course.
Yoke
180.
roll control. Free movement.
Yes.
Yoke pitch control.
Pitch control. I understand why
Free
people get so
movement.
frustrated with these voices.
Rudder control.
Blimey. We're going to leave that on flight level change. Then when we get up to the air, I think we press VNAV, and then it should change about 180. So rudder control, free movement, as expected.
Speed brake handle.
Yes, so we're doing a flight control check. They don't have a reverse thrust check, which is also essential. We're just gonna speed brake.
Check movement, then 0.
Yep.
Taxi light.
On.
Parking brake.
Right, so we're ready to go. Yeah, so it should include a reverse thruster check. It should include things like... What else should it include? It should include the ground idle option. They don't have anything there about engine sync. They have something about engine sync to fan, but nothing about turbine. There's nothing about emergency procedures. There's nothing about the interior master switch or the emergency lights, which, you know, you can have them on. you have them on like that, at least you can see the lights illuminate, which is probably normal for a flight in this kind of plane. Right, we're going. Let's stop talking through the startup. It's taking that long. Do we check our departure? Runway 15, and we're going to check the map. Plan our departure. So 15. Not a long way to go. Just going to taxi down to Lima, holding point Bravo. So going to the right. Parking brake released. Ready to depart.
Parking brake.
Ready to taxi. Oh my god. Ah, the game's froze.
Set.
Oh dear.
GND rec / anti-coal lights.
Okay, she's skipping ahead again. Here we go. It's a big plane, the Citation X. It's a big private jet. Medium-sized jet as well. So don't expect it to be easy to maneuver it. Good colours on this livery though. I like the selection we've come up with on this scheme. Salzburg traffic, Charlie 4, Foxtrot Lima, taxi into runway 14 via Lima and Bravo. Lima and Bravo, not Lima. Still waiting for people to give me their feedback on what favourite plane they've got. Do you like to fly the Citation X? An X plane. I actually found that when I did stream on Microsoft Flight Simulator, that was a lot more popular and a lot more people watched it. Especially the videos and the content of those of that game. It's just overall a better game for scenery, I think, and there's a lot more planes to choose from with a base game, so that's why people prefer it. But X-Plane does have that realism for flying, which is still replicated in Microsoft. It's just I don't know, there's something a bit more realistic looking about X-Plane's planes, especially the interiors, although the quality of some of them is really poor, like the King Air, the Beechcraft King Air, really poor in interior. The Beechcraft Baron's great, but the King Air is absolutely despicable. Cessna Citation, great. There's some clear writing inside. It beats the default 737 on terms of its texture quality, and the default 737 is also, I'd say, pretty damn awful for a airliner. Yeah, so ground idle should be on when your ground idle is needed. So when you're parked up with the engine running, put it on ground idle high. I'd also recommend using the passenger safety feature rather than just the lights. The lights are more of a glow in the dark thing than a safety announcement. And the one thing as well, you got 8 seats in the cabin on the Citation 10, all for passengers. There's a lavatory at the back, but we can't get into it. There's no seat for like a flight attendant. Usually we'd sit somewhere here, but there's a big cabin in the way, so I can't imagine there would be one on this kind of flight, in a Citation anyway. Looking forward to doing some more flights with new planes as well, some different aircraft. This is beautiful, and I think it's one of my favourite. But I have a surprise coming. A much better looking plane, I think. Much more realistic. Still good, like I say, still good this. I'm not trying to put this plane down, but the one I've got coming seems to be a whole over ballpark. So anyway, we put the collision. Strobe lights on.
Landing lights.
Landing lights on. Taxi lights off.
Taxi light.
Yes, it's off.
Off.
Transponder to TCAS or altitude.
Alt. Parking brake.
Okay, we're going to roll onto the runway. We're going to give them an announcement.
Released.
Salzburg traffic,
Pedal
Charlie
brakes.
4, Foxtrot Lima, taking in, departing runway 14. Right, let's get going. Let's get on the runway and line up. We're going to have to backtrack. Looks fairly short, but I think we can do it. Okay, we're going to assume pedal brakes are on. We haven't got pedal brakes on X-Plane 12. We've just got parking brake feature.
Full press.
Pedal brakes.
Throttle lever.
About 40% standard practice. We're going to take
Set
off now.
40% N1.
Check.
Both engines simultaneous.
Okay, we're going.
Check.
We're rolling out.
Pedal brakes.
Salzburg traffic,
Release.
Charlie 4, Foxtrot Lima,
Throttle
departing
lever.
runway 14. There's another call out for the same thing, but you know, as a courtesy, isn't it? Let's get going. Take off position.
Max position
Steep departure turn.
/.
This is to avoid the
At
mountains.
VR speed.
80 knots. We are
Rotate.
rotate. Okay, here's that steep turn now.
Positive rating climb.
Is it very climb?
Landing gear.
We'll climb very steeply now just to reduce that speed. Very windy as well, there's turbulence.
Above 1,000 feet AGL. Autopilot.
Okay, saying autopilot, let's try the
Engage.
autopilot.
Vertical navigation mode.
Check.
FLC or nav. Flaps and slats.
Check. Actually, no, not check. We're going to keep them down just because we're quite slow. It's giving us 200 knots. Now it's saying 165. That's a concern. Let's do flight level change because we don't want to go in at 140, 165. We should be at least 240. There we go. Change it back. So when we speed up, I'll retract the flaps. Just to maintain that. Would be good to fly a hand-flown departure, but the checklist and the autopilot. And if you want realism, I suppose this is what real pilots do. They get the autopilot on pretty quick after departure. Barely over 2,000 feet in the air and they're already being flown by a computer. Okay, so we can retract the flaps and the slats in advance of the speed increase. So flaps up. APU generators come off.
Up is required. Throttle lever.
Okay, we've reduced that to climb.
CLB position. Cabin pressurization.
Let's check it's increasing.
Check positive FPM.
Yes, it is.
Altimeter
Let's increase it
barrel.
a lot more than that though. We're going to set standard pressure when we get a little bit higher up. I don't know what the transition is. We have no ATIS information. The steep turn because of the Salzburg mountains. There was another aircraft in the vicinity as well, which is why it's so important to keep an eye out. There it is. One of the most challenging approaches, especially with the likes of Innsbruck, which is not far from here. Transition
SPDX
altitude.
transport. Equals. Above 10,000 feet. Landing lights.
Okay, landing lights off.
Seat belts.
I'm going to turn those off.
Off. APU bleed air.
APU's coming off.
Off. APU generator.
Off.
Off. APU start.
So there's a warning. It does have those as APU generator off and then APU start off. You'll notice in previous streams I've turned the generator off after, and that's actually, you know, fairly realistic because I've I've actually heard pilots who's a Citation X pilot say you should turn the APU start off before the generator. Maybe I'm mistaken, I'll have to find that video, but there was definitely one there. So we'll do the APU start off first, and then we'll turn the APU generator off afterwards. So there we go, now it's gone off, we can turn that off. Or, I mean, select reset, I don't know what reset we're doing it. Get rid of all the extinguish the warnings, climb up sufficient speed so we're above 10,000. I'm going to increase to 270, which is best rate of climb.
APU master.
APU master switch coming off.
Off. Equals. Above 18,000 feet. In sync.
Oh, fan sync on.
Fan.
Check.
Bank.
Okay, half bank.
As required. Throttle lever.
Doing the ET, so there's flight time, 4 minutes. Can change the ET time, it doesn't tend to come up with one. Even the flight plan would have one, so we check in aviation tablet. It's a good thing to check actually, you know, if you want to program it in. That's one thing that we didn't consider in the past, is how long it's actually going to take. So you can see there, flight level, well, that's the alternate airport. Should be on the first page. So it gives us a departure of 11:30, and then we should arrive about an hour's flight. Yeah, not very long at all. I mean, we could do it, but it's going to take a while to put 1 hour into that. It's in there anyway. V speeds have come up nice and early as well. That changed based on the fuel weight. Fuel, they say for cruise, oh, did you say cruise bank? How do you untick? You can't untick the box, so you only turn it on when you're in cruise, not in climb. That's my mistake. And then of course climb thrust when you're in the cruise thrust when you're in the cruise, not the way around. 45 minutes in, not too long on the start up there. We had some hiccups. Hope you're enjoying everything. Really is a stunning aircraft. It makes me want to fly more Citations. Definitely. A customizable Citation would be lovely as well. My own paint job. I'll have to look into customizing this aircraft with my own logo. A logo of my own fictional flight company or something. I mean, it is just such a magnificent plane. The layout in the interiors is basic, but it's still high-end. Like these wooden cabinets are very good colours, they're good choices, but then you look down to the carpet, you know, the one in the cockpit is very nice, but then you look in here and it's not the nicest colour. I wouldn't have gone for the cream interior with this wooden cabinet like this. It's, you know, it's a good match, but in terms of style and taste, it's like the plane. They might have been better off going with white seats. Pure white leather seats. The cream is, it's got something to it which is just not, yeah, it's just not 100% doing it for me. But yeah, overall very good. And of course standard wings. I don't know what else to say about the Citation wings. Good winglets, good view, good aerodynamics, one of the best. So I'll give you all a break, enjoy the flight. I'll get back on if there's an ATC.
Finnair 1 Delta Hotel is 10 miles out, runway 26 right, ILS approach. Traffic, Finnair 1 Delta Hotel 5 miles out, runway 26 right, ILS approach.
That's just about 39,000 feet. Let's keep the half bank on, and let's reduce that down
Cruise
to
position.
cruise position.
Altitude
So this will be the
north.
descent. If we click off, I don't want to click it off, but if we do click it off, we can go back to chat list, and then if we click descent, it'll come back up again.
Traffic information is United 160, line up on runway 26 right, and heading for the traffic.
Okay, that sounds like Innsbruck. Yeah, there's Lowe's, there's Salzburg. We've just gone over Innsbruck. Oh, that's Germany. We're miles away from Innsbruck. We're in Germany now, everybody. This is a short flight. It's not even going to be an hour altogether, probably, because of the start-up. But general 20 minutes or so. If we even look at the flight plan, it was 40 minutes if that. I mean, yeah, descending at Ritsu, top of descent into Hahn. The reason I chose Hahn is because it was a close airport to Koblenz. Koblenz has a nice spa there and a very luxurious, it's just a pretty place and hidden away. Let's turn the radio down. Cool that you can turn the radio down, by the way. Yeah, so Koblenz, more of a spa place, more of a retreat for the Germans and other Europeans who know about it. I can imagine they would fly to one of the major airports or even to Hahn Airport in a private jet. That should be on CO at this level. Yeah, in a private jet in order to have a nice weekend. So that's what we're doing. We're flying, me, myself, i.e. my co-pilot and me, and 7 other passengers down there for a nice luxurious getaway. It's great. I own the Citation X, of course, and I'm going to purchase a new jet. I have in fact just purchased a new jet for the next stream. It probably won't be Wednesday as planned. I want to do another one in the 737 before then, but it will be on sometimes this week, probably on Friday. So I really look forward to it. Okay, radio comes back up. Just keep an eye on that. This layout is also very peculiar in Citation. It would make sense to have the, like, that's all the radio volumes and controls. It makes sense to have them down there or down here in terms of design, because you have to change the radio here. Well, then you have to go back up here to change volume and other things, and even the you know, the comms that you receive and turn them on or off. Speaker, I don't think that functions whatsoever. Headphones dysfunctional as well. So is the oxygen masks. Just small quality of life things that the Citation X could use. Looks like for the approach of Olgil, we're going to have to be at 6,000 descending through. Can't go back up to 10,000 now. Descended through to 5,000 feet for final, so quite high up on London. And if you want to check the approach, you might be better off going on here and clicking on map and using the terrain, because it shows terrain, of course. You can see the mountains, and using that to find out what's in the area. So we've got Hahn Airport. It's not going to be the biggest place. It might not even be marked on the map. There's Koblenz. That's the place I'm talking about. Nearest airport, Frankfurt am Main or Cologne Airport. Not very far away. It's, yeah, so Hahn Airport is not actually marked on there. It's somewhere down here. Somewhere down there anyway. In Luxembourg. So we're actually flying to a secret airport. What an airport's not even marked in the map. Let's see if they've got the identification for it. So airport EDFH, I think it is. Frankfurt Hahn, elevation 1,600 feet. What runway is it? 2-1 for us. Runway 2-1. ILS category 3. Should be able to get the 111.3. So the aviation tablets information is up to date and relevant. Let's check. So it's saying QNH 1014 111.3 for the ILS. Let's correspond it with our, or cross-reference it with our flight plan. I'll zoom in a bit there, you can see it. Slightly different on the QNH. The exact same on the ILS frequencies. Not bad. Yeah, anyway, back to the charts. Dial that in now. 111.3. 30. You might want to cycle that a few times. Again, it doesn't always work. If I change that to nav, it points. In fact, it doesn't even point. There's no arrow on that. Sometimes it doesn't work. Get it into the co-pilots. It's just good practice when you are actually flying as a co-pilot. Although if you're a captain like me, you won't have to. DME markers, you can put it up there, so that's DME mark for the VOR lock. In fact, keep that up there, that might be handy. ADF is, of course, for NDB approaches and things. Range can be changed, that's handy, to up to 40 nautical miles. Above, below, or normal. Just small improvements. You can't adjust secondary trim on and off, but you can adjust the nose position. Flight control shut-off position. Now, when I had that elevator control failure and I couldn't change the pitch with my yoke, I didn't see these illuminate at all. I didn't see elevator off, illuminate, and there's no way to even push that. So there's no way to change that. But then I found, stupidly of me, I found this thing down here. So it's called pitch and roll reconnect, push to reset. So when my pitch failed and I had to use trim and throttle, I could have just tried this option and it might have resolved the issue. Yeah, just be aware if you do have pitch or roll failure, it's worth pulling that thing to reconnect the system. Right, top of descent is coming soon. We're just going to go straight down to flight level 6060.
Set to cleared alt.
Right, we're descending
Vertical
soon.
navigation mode. Set nav, FLC or VS. Equals.
Reduce that throttle. No ATC, I don't think. There's nothing on Basim. That's Frankfurt am Main. EDFH we want. Echo Delta Foxtrot Hotel. Very difficult to see. There's so many airports in Germany, and most of them are really big. I mean, just look at the size of Frankfurt. It has 4 runways, and that's just one way. So if it was 2-way, they'd have twice the amount of runways. That's insane. Meaning if they was taking off and landing in different directions, it would have more planes coming in. That airport must serve well over 1 million people each day. Easily. Kind of looking for the VOR and things. Let's check if we're descending. Yes, we are. Let's get our thrust down, throttles down. And descent is oddly enough changed to Mach 7.8. One thing I haven't checked, we have been able to program the arrival, but I haven't really checked the airport out, so I'm not too sure of the length. It's runway, yeah, it's looking a bit short. If I could find it on the map, it would show us the length of the runway on that as well. I feel like we're going to land at General Aviation Airport here in a Citation X, which is going to be way too small. So pilot errors today, which is normal. Hope you enjoyed the weekend. I did find us, thank you. I've had a spiffing weekend. I got a super surprise coming on Friday. I got a new aircraft to show off. Bought myself a new jet, so I'm looking forward to it. Okay, it's a proper airport, it's a proper international airport. It's called Frankfurt Hahn Airport, so it's basically the same place. Cheers, finders. I hope you're looking forward to it if you're coming along to it. It'll be Friday. I don't want to do an early stream Friday because I keep changing my mind about the stream time, so I'll try my best to stick to 1:30 for the start time. In fact, I may even do it. I might do it in the evening. So I'll probably, if it's not 1:30, it'll probably be 5:30 or 6:30 p.m. Friday. $13,000 more appropriate so we can maintain that sufficient speed. Because from Ridzu we have another 32 nautical miles till Orgil, which is the approach sector, approach legs, final half of the sector. Okay, we've got ATC. Let's check if they're in the vicinity. A miracle I might add, I've been having issues getting ATC and VATS in for the last week and a half on streams. Have no issue offline, of course. There's always people on when I'm offline, but not online. Okay, saying EDDH approach, which is Bremen radar. There's nowhere near us, unfortunately. London's got a nice amount of ATC at the moment. But Austria to oh my, I can't believe it. There's actually another plane at the airport we're going to. It's a miracle. I thought we was going to be isolated and secluded so we can go on our retreat. In fact, there's a few planes. One's there at the airport. I think they've just spawned in, and there's another one. Ryanair's landing there from Mallorca. Just coming into approach and land now. Thank goodness it's the right runway though. Runway 21 is indeed landing. QNH 1014. So we're technically, we're not in the centre of Germany. We're in the Rhineland Palatinate. We flew up through Bavaria. We're currently flying over Baden-Württemberg. And ended in the Rhineland. If anyone knows anything about the history, the Rhineland is, yeah, a lot of action took place in the Westphalia Rhine place in the north of that, many years ago, many decades. There he is. Somebody's just gone zooming past. The airport we're looking at, an airport, is, I think it's this one. Yep, let's tune the ADF. That's the airport we're landing at. There's a couple of planes there now. It looks like we've got some bad weather on approach. Yeah, somebody's just landed Ryanair 2 Bravo Zulu. We actually have a DME marker as well. So we probably should use that rather than the MDV. Let's tune it in. 11735. Nah, I'll leave it. We're looking for the ILS approach, which is 111.3. Straight in, I think. Straight down to base leg and straight onto final. $1,500 feet, which should probably be about 2,500 feet. Enable 2005, so there must be high terrain in the area. I can see some mountains, some hills. 5,000, 2,000, can we do 3,000 feet? Yes we can. And we'll descend down 2,500 and then hopefully straight to the runway. Did you see that the B2 flew for almost 37 hours non-stop this weekend? How is that possible? Yes, I did actually, and I was also wondering, first of all, how much fuel did that plane consume? Secondly, where did they get it all? Did they take it all with them? I find it hard to believe they took it all with them. Basically, they refueled the aircraft in the air. That was how the B2 was able to fly so long. It's a standard. It's actually something that's been used for years to refuel big planes. You will see the nozzle attachment on the nose. It will come out of one aircraft's rear end, and it will attach to the nose of the other aircraft, and then they'll transfer the fuel that way. But to do an operation like that at such a high altitude,
10,000 feet. In sync.
yeah, but such a high altitude is it's pretty incredible. Considering how much fuel weight they would have needed. They would have needed the initial weight of the aircraft plus the fuel they needed. Then they needed extra fuel on board. Then they needed the aircraft's fuel for the other one. So it's a Hercules moment in aviation. Okay, we're in the checklist below 18,000 feet. Let's get the engine sinks off.
Off. Bank.
I'll leave half bank as it is. And nah, I won't. I'll turn it off.
APU master.
Okay, below 18,000. I thought it was supposed to be below 10,000, but it's saying 18. Okay, let's get the APU on.
APU start.
Already got 28.5
Hold
volts.
till start. APU N1 100%.
A bit colder in Germany as well. It's one of those days.
Ready. APU generator.
Okay, generator, then bleed air,
On.
max cool.
APU bleed air. Max cool. Equals.
Straight down to 6,000 feet. We've passed the speed threshold, I think, for 250, so we need to slow down a bit. A future stream from you could be 37 hours. Blimey. I mean, that's ambitious, isn't it? Oh man, the only aircraft that would refuel in the air, I think, that I have is that Sparky Mod 747. I think that's probably the only one that's capable of refueling in the air. I don't have any other aircraft that can do it. Oh man, that would be so cool though, wouldn't it? Okay, we're going to slow down. About 250 is fine. Yeah, we're going straight into final. I think there's no break in the flight plan as far as I can see. A slight turn there. I'll give them a call out. And there's that bumpy weather. So we've had, let's check who else is there. Now we've got a few more people spawned in and landed. Frankfurt, Hahn, traffic, Charlie 4, Foxtrot, Lima, descent for the Olgil 3 Bravo arrival at 10,000 feet. People are going to be laughing at that pronunciation, aren't they? Keep an eye out for traffic, got an aircraft on the left, he's at 38,000. 30,000 plus. I noticed as well, I better take the chance to say this now, but people keep subscribing. I think they're expecting to get into the chat. I don't know what it is, but they subscribe and then they will unsubscribe immediately after. So just, you know, if you have a question, please ask it on comments, because the comments are open to everybody. Don't subscribe and, you know, expect to be able to come and ask things and you can't, and then you get upset and unsubscribe. Just ask it in the comments and I'll go in onto that and we can discuss it. But just constantly subscribing and unsubscribing is not very useful at all. You know, we're here for the planes, we're not here for your egos.
Landing lights.
Okay, let's get the landing lights on.
On. Seat belts lights.
Safety. Take that off, that's a yes.
Altimeter barrow.
Altimeter, so 1014.
Set local QNH. Rough forward / barrow minimums.
Okay, we need to set the minimums. It does these pretty late, I'd say, on the minimums. You should set that probably a little bit early, but it's 200 feet.
Equals. Speed 250 k's.
Yep.
Slats and flaps.
Okay, we're not descending. Probably too slow. Yeah, it has a strange turn at the end there, to the right and then to the left. The final approach. What do you think of it, Finders? Anyway, do you what do you think of the whole like situation there? Was that Black Ops or not? Was that one hell of a Black Ops operation? Did the captain get any sleep on that flight? Probably had multiple pilots on board. I don't want to assume too much because I don't know anything about it. I'm assuming they had more than one pilot, meaning they had people to come and take over shift, if you like every 12 hours or something. They even do that on long haul commercial flights. They have pilots in the jump seat who could take over the flying for a little bit if needed. Did follow it during the night here because it was so hot. Well, to be honest, I honestly knew nothing about it, and I don't know where I would have seen it other than looking up at the sky, but we're in England, so there's not much to see. 25 minutes. Yeah, it has that typical American feel, Top Gun feel to it. If you ever saw the Top Gun 2 movie, I don't want to compare the two, but same kind of principle, isn't it? The same kind of operation. Lots of training, lots of preparation, and then it's just in and out for a simple, like, 5-second job. Anyway, we're coming into land. I need to slow down rapidly. We got another 3,000 feet to go. Keep an eye out for the airport. We are within... it doesn't look like it's lined up with the runway. Oh, hang on, that's the holding pattern. So the holding pattern is going to take us like a circuit, take us around to parallel to the runway. It was hot here as well. I remember on, well, it was only the weekend, wasn't it? But it was absolutely scorching in England. My apartment was, let's just say, it was bloody warm. YouTube channel called Agenda Free TV. Blimey. I'm glad I didn't know anything about it actually, because now you've mentioned it, it feels like it's, well, it felt like a surprise because I came across it on the news channel that I was looking at, but that was it. To be fair, I don't watch news, I don't watch any of that stuff, so it's hard to keep up to date with it. Right, we need to set the heading, runway 21. Let's get flaps and slats down to 5. Technically on the approach sector leg. There's the runway somewhere there. There it is. And we have our aircraft there, so we can be embarrassed if we crash. Another 2,000 feet to go as well. Slow down to about 190. Okay. He's reversing down the taxiway to the runway. I won't give a call out for final direction on it until established on the localizer. I can understand why 5,000 feet, yeah, we're going to have to hold altitude because I've just remembered the altitude of the airport's 1,600 feet, which means we're about 3,000 feet above ground level right now. And we'll go around to, we'll have to go around to 5,000 feet if we have a go around situation. Flaps should be 5, not 15.
Flaps 5. Autopilot approach mode.
Can't do that just yet, we're not established on localizer. It says to... I've heard a real pilot tell me that you can actually stick it on when you're even on, you know, this particular leg, because it'll still lock onto it, but if we engage the approach mode now, it's going to... I know it'll throw us off course. It's just my experience, it'll throw us well off course to the runway. It's also a simulation, a game, so we're never going to get 100% realism on it. Where's that aircraft? We're going to make sure he's not on the runway when we come into land. Add traffic, Charlie 4, Foxtrot Lima, turning final runway 21. Giving him advance notice there so we can get taken off before we come into land. There it is. Really hope he gives us a call out. 122.8, Charlie 4, Foxtrot Lima. He seems to be holding short. He's not giving any call out that he's holding short though. Now he's reversing. Anyway, we need to get established. Let's take the navigation mode and approach mode on.
Equals.
Final 3753, holding point Foxtrot 21, waiting for the traffic in final.
Okay, so he's seen as the... See, I put it in manually and it didn't work again with the ILS frequency. It is correct, it is the right one. But for some reason or another you have to click on it before you can use it, which is so annoying, of course. The YouTube channel, I read that, yes, the news feeds these days are crazy. Well, I don't really like them, to be honest. I don't like a lot of news sites. The only news I read is, you know, people's YouTube news, and that's about it. You know, stuff from independent channels, you know. Other streamers, other YouTubers who perhaps talk about interesting topics, but... I don't know. Russell Brand, he's alright. He's got some interesting stuff going on. Okay, he's waited, holding short. He may have been able to take off because we're within like 8 miles, so he would have had time. Okay, below 210, we need to put the flaps to 15. Slow down a little bit. Flaps to 15.
Speed 210 k's.
Yeah.
Flaps. Flaps 15.
Check. V speed.
Landing gear.
It's 128. Landing gear. Let's do the manual landing gear extension. We're going to do it a little bit early now. Get established nice and early. Maintain.
Down 3 green.
So it says full flaps only if required. I always use full flaps.
180 k's.
Because you've only got, I suppose 30 degrees is a lot, isn't it? 35 degrees, it's more than it's the same amount as a Boeing 737. Okay, we got a bit of a pickle. There's that rough weather I was talking about. It's kind of moved in, obscuring the runway for us. Flaps 35.
Flaps
We
35.
do need flaps 35 on this approach.
Equals.
V speed reference coming up, or the VAP reference. There's the outer marker, by the way, that's what the noise was. Ryanair, 2 Ryanairs at this airport. I'm hoping to take either Echo or Delta turn off. Probably be Delta at this rate. Okay, it's 0 visibility. This is category minimal. Absolutely brutal. Just about to see the land. I hope we get some runway lights. I can't do this in this weather. This is bad. Keep cheating by looking at the map. Are we on course? I think we're slightly off. Oh no. There's the ground. Come on, runway. Oh my goodness, we've got a strong crosswind as well. There it is. Come on, land. Come on. I'm going to have to disengage the autopilot in a second as well. We're all over the place.
AGL, 500 feet.
I can't see anything.
AP and yacht.
Ah, I can't see it. I can't see the runway.
300.
There's a... Oh, thank God for that. Thank God. If I hadn't been able to see the runway then, we would have had to go around. Holy shit.
Flight slow.
Excuse me. Oh my goodness. Jeez. Oh. That's a go around. Oh my God. Like Ryanair. Those passengers would have been absolutely crapping themselves. I'm gonna have to give him advice, notes about that, because that's bad, isn't it?
Throttle lever.
Right, reverse thrusters.
Idle.
I think we've experienced some kind of failure here,
If
or
necessary.
wind shear,
Equals.
because the aircraft is completely all over the place. Oh my God. That's why the aircraft, that other aircraft, turned to the side. His plane's probably got blown away. 16 knot
speed,
crosswind.
50 k's. Reverse throttle.
Off.
Off. Petard static heat.
Charlie 4 Foxtrot Lima, Hahn traffic, just backtracking runway 21. Mac trim off. I was so frightened then. As a pilot I should be in control. But I'll be perfectly honest, I was scared when that plane was getting shaken about. Very scared.
Both off. GND rec / anti-coal lights.
We're just going to backtrack the runway and then clear the
GND
runway.
rec. Transponder mode.
Oh my goodness, please let me know how that was. How the hell would you handle a situation like that? Incredible that I got down on the ground without crashing. Hand traffic, Charlie 4 Foxtrot Lima, just advised to the departing traffic there was severe crosswinds on landing. You may have the same on takeoff.
Roger, appreciate that. And Ryanair 3753, takeoff runway 21.
Okay, we got a random plane at the end there. Looks like he just spawned in. I don't know why. I had to give him that warning because if it's that bad on landing, it means the ground speed of the wind is extremely high. I'm gonna have to watch him as well. Let's just watch him take off. Stand by on that first.
Stand by. Taxi light. On.
There he goes. Yeah, someone else on the runway as well, taking off. Thank you, Finders. Everyone who follows me, of course, including you, Finders, you're all stars. And nice takeoff there from the 737. I'm going to have to watch that replay because
Speed brake.
I'm absolutely awestruck that he just made that without crashing. Let's go over here to the right. Let's go into the general aviation.
Flaps.
Flaps retracted. Taxi lights on.
Taxi light.
Well, welcome to Hahn Airport.
close the ticket on the right one.
Let's do the shutdown checklist and we'll watch the
Parking
replay.
brake.
Parking brake set.
Set.
Throttles are going to be cut off.
Throttles. Cut off. Engines in 2%.
Yeah. Collision lights off. Aircraft doors open.
Below 10%. GND red
Zero
forward
signs
slash
off.
anti-roll lights. Off. Aircraft doors. Open. Seat belts. Off.
You can't have a checklist outside as well. That's a good feature of it. It makes it more realistic. There he goes though. He's going to go off. Let's watch him. Hopefully nothing like that Ryanair that was recently seen taking off after it crashed. I'm joking, of course. Ooh, tail strike.
APU bleeder.
Off.
Off. APU generator. Off. APU start. Hold down. Equals.
So it says turn the master switch off when it gets to 0. Let's just click it off now.
RPM 0. APU master. Off. Engine bleeder. Both off. Cabin and cockpit packs.
I'm doing this
Off.
quick and then she can read it.
Recognition light. Off. Navigation light. Off. Tail floodlight. Off. Windshield heater LH
Windshield,
and
there's a
IH.
D missing off of that.
Off. Passenger oxygen. Off. Emergency exit lights. Off. Center wing transfer. Both off. Fuel boost.
I'll turn the ignition off because
Both off.
I don't know who would leave it in normal
Standby
position.
power.
Avionics, ICAS,
Avionics
generators, and batteries.
Off.
So that's the full shutdown, the full
ACUS
checklist.
switch. Off. Generators 1 and 2. Off. Battery switches. Both off.
That's the full checklist, ladies and gentlemen, from a preliminary checks to shutdown. I am going to watch that replay because that was just absolutely insane. I'm in amazement at my flying skills right now. Okay. External view, of course. Want to see the action from outside. So we came in. I could barely see the runway. And then when we got here, I mean, there's no clouds in the sky, so I don't know what was happening. We couldn't see, but there was clouds on our screen. There's none there, though. And then we came down, and we got through all over the place. Everything is fairly stable at the moment. We just had a bit of speed drops and a few other things. You see that crosswind, 16 knots. Even looking at the true airspeed and things, 146. We're going slightly fast. Full flaps. I'm going to record this just because it was so insane. There it is, so there's that wind, crosswind. And I suspect we had a wind shear on final, but we didn't get an announcement for it. There it is, it's just blowing that nose all over the place. So at this point we're manual. We're getting thrown about like a ball in a water pool. In about 3 seconds there's going to be major wind shear. Something similar to it. Yeah, there it is. Absolutely insane. Go around. It should have been a go around, but we had to land. I'm not filing the paperwork for a go around. Okay, it's fairly on the centre line. There was a late touchdown there. Still within the appropriate zone though. Okay, slightly off the centre line. Wow, that was amazing, that landing. I don't want to kiss my own butt, but amazing. Thank you for being here. It was a good flight. It's been short. I am actually really excited for the next jet I'm going to show you on Friday, because that one on Friday, I think it's going to elevate our experiences on the stream. It's going to elevate the whole flight sim experience. So thank you, Finest. Thank you to everyone who's been here. Have a fantastic week. I'll see you on Wednesday. All the best.